think we're live. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. We're bringing in something new. We're bringing in faces and videos this week, and we've got your typical three crew of three.
The
Um,
Musketeers.
only one winner here in this part of this three. Man, I just noticed that actually. Your boy
Wow.
is the winner. Let's try to make it short for the boys. Let's try to recap the games as quick as we can and get some good predictions and maybe put some thoughts in. I know you guys had a lot of personal thoughts before we started the stream. So, Dakak, I want to hear it all.
You'll hear it, man. You'll hear it.
Is there anything you guys want to say before we get to the recaps?
No, man. I think honestly, props to the commish and like everybody that helped out. I think like week one was definitely a week one for the books, man. I think like the refs, the fields, like I think this was like the first league that like helped. Like it started like on close to on time too. Like the times, like everybody came close to on time. Like everything was fluid. Like I think everybody had fun, alhamdulillah, too. So I think it was a really good week one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like smooth sailing week one. I feel like refs came into play. We have two new refs, Theo and Lucas were there. So I mean, it makes it easier for us now. We're not refereeing the games anymore. So we're just chilling now, sitting back, doing highlights and stats and that kind of stuff. So I'm excited for the season. Turf field, fun games too. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the nitty gritty. First game, yours truly, Muslimin versus Free Palestine. This was a blowout, obviously. Dakak, you called it, but you're probably a little surprised by the.
Yeah, man. I called. I think I said like 34-6 or something, or 30-6. But like in general, like these teams completely looked out of sync. I don't know if it's because there was a one game fluke or like, but like we kind of knew this like going into the season that like their team was definitely like a team that wasn't gonna like, if they start off down early, like there was questions if they could really rally back and stuff. But hopefully it's like for the sake of their team, hopefully it's like a fluke. I know they had like a lot of problems inside, and it's up to Ali Z to try to like, come back. But then it also questions like, is Fahad's team that stacked? Like Fahad was gunslinging it that day. He was throwing at Dustin. Zuzu had a couple deep passes. He got everybody involved that day.
Yeah. I think Fahad's stats was 7 touchdowns, no picks. And it was those 7 touchdowns were scattered around everywhere. No rushing. If you guys noticed, Fahad, I don't think he rushed one game. One play, I mean. So, all you need is those arms, baby.
I think that Ali had a very bad game plan on defense. Not rushing Fahad is not a move. Rushing Fahad, rushing Ahmad, all the best QBs. You need to rush these guys. You can't sit back there and let them throw the ball. And obviously, I think Ali Z. I feel bad for that team because they came with 5 players, only showed up, and then they had 5 players out there that had to start playing the game because this league we're starting on time still. Yeah, 4, 5, 3, 2. You're starting with 7 with those players you have. So they started with 5 versus 7. But then Noor Bax came flying in with his red penny on, and he came flying in. And Saudik came like 10 minutes late. He dropped a wide open deep ball in the middle. Like it was just going back to them. It was a very bad day.
Saudik single-handedly did something bad for the team. I don't want to call him out, but man, that boy was just not doing it right. But it is what it is. I mean,
yeah, I think he had a very, very bad day. Saudik, Ahmad, I don't know what was happening with you. I saw Ihab was breaking down a little bit too. He was seeing the drops. He was seeing this happening. Ihab was getting frustrated. He was getting the ball that he likes, So it was a tough day for Free Palestine. Fahad was looking very, very, very solid. Like his balls were on the. If you give Fahad and Abad and EB these kind of quarterbacks the time to sit back there and chill, they will make you pay. You have to rush. You have to. You can't sit back there and.
My surprise for that game, to be honest, was like I knew Zuzu would come out. Dustin was huge, but honestly, we were questioning last week was Mikhail. Mikhail had like a couple drops at the beginning, but he really like he was really everywhere. To be honest, like bat downs, like close interceptions. I know Ali Z had like a rock throwing the football. Man, that ball was hard.
That was tough.
But I know like I know like Mikhail was huge stepping up. Who's your guys' rusher? Hod's team.
Nasa.
Yeah, that guy was huge too, man. He had a pick at the beginning, and he was doing a lot of impact. Like Fahad really had like everybody who was playing the roles step up to the roles and play it well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mikhail's first drop he did, I just saw his passion just come right to his, like, he started grabbing the ball and like hit his head and stuff like that. The passion he shows on the field is just different. Like basketball court, football, after that he started balling out. Mikhail definitely stepped up for sure. Yeah, I know he called me out last week for saying he's gonna be shaky and stuff like that, but Mikhail showed us some big stuff week one. I'm excited for the rest of the season for Mikhail.
I think Mikhail, as you can see on the screen, I think Mikhail had 1 touchdown, 1 pick. So he's it was a mediocre week, but that's probably first time playing football in a long time. But with that being said, then next game was probably a more exciting game, and it was
wait, before we go to the next game though, let's give out a quick shout out to Sohaib for watching our podcast last week and giving us some critiques, some of his opinions, what he liked about it and stuff. Shout out to Sohaib for listening to our podcast. Keep listening, baby. Keep listening. We'll give you more shout outs. Give me a couple touchdowns next week too. All right, this is my – keep going.
All right, so Dino Virginia and versus BLM, EB, and Siraj. Man, it was unfortunate to see EB go down very early. I'm not sure how. Did you guys hear any news about how EB's is looking like next week?
I haven't heard nothing from EB, but all I know is I feel like the EB that I know will try to play with no legs. He'll go out there just standing still like Big Ben, Tom Brady, to start throwing the ball with like that.
He should.
There's no way EB misses the whole entire season. I don't care what he has, torn ACL, torn meniscus, torn this, torn that. He'll be out there sometime this season. That's all I know.
He shouldn't be, though. I mean, this is, from what it looked like, it was pretty serious, and you don't want to be – I don't know, you don't want to risk it right now, especially if you've got a team that nice, So if I was EB, I'd sit the next 2 weeks. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's bad for the league, but that's what it is. But can we talk about that last play? The guy –
that last play, man, it was already controversial because we had like a flag on the field, like we had an offside, and then the refs had ended the game, and then they reconvened. They said we can't end the game on a runoff. So we came back last play. Siraj drew a play, and it just players on the team on my team just didn't execute it. It was pretty simple, like. Siraj, if he had 1 more second, he literally threw the ball. It was a touchdown. But, our players, we just didn't dial in and just focused on that last second of play. Like, we shouldn't have been in that position. We had, like, a lot of mistakes all that game. But, I think our team, though, is definitely going to be a team that we're going to improve every week. Like, we're a kind of young team, a lot of new players, not a lot of new fits. Like, we're just going to improve every week. But we definitely wanted that week 1 win. But, just players, we just need to make sure as players to listen to our captains, lock in, like listen to the play and just do our parts. Like it came down to people who just didn't do their parts at the end. And that's how we won the game.
The silver lining is definitely that you guys were so close. Hazem, what you think about Seth at QB? Has he got a shot in the future?
My boy Seth, man. He looked good out there, Seth always had an arm. It's more about that mental side with Seth. But the key for Seth this year now is the hips that he got. Like his hips are going to be a challenge for everyone in this league to contain.
Crazy.
Seth, if he gets outside and he's out running around with those hips, at least 10, 15 yards easy every time. So
yeah, I mean,
Seth was doing that a lot. He was running around like crazy.
The fact that what Seth did shows you how bad we are as a league of with flag pulling. So
we are not.
Yeah, definitely the new flags too. Shout out to Brennan also. That kid stepped up.
Yeah,
he had a couple.
Yeah, he did. Excited.
That's what happened, bro. He brought his girl. He stepped up. Like you can't bring your girl and not step up. The kid stepped up, man. He got like a couple key picks, a couple catches. Like kid balled out. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
That boy Brennan's hype, man. He texted me the other day. He wanted to see his highlight footage. He wanted to watch his whole game footage and stuff like that.
Oh man,
He's hungry. I tell you that much.
Nah, he was
People like that are usually easy to beat, though.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Game 3 is is Ubada and Hazem, Islam versus Mogadishu. Hazem, I'm gonna get you to start off. I want you to say what you thought of the game and encouraging words for your team if you have any.
This was a very frustrating game for me. Obviously, I let you guys down as my co-podcast members here. You guys thought to win this game, as I thought as well. But I ended up losing this game, unfortunately, to Abada. The funny thing is, me and Abada, we have a lot of battles over the years as competitors. I usually always beat him. Usually, I beat him. Like I've been on the winning side against Abada for a long time. I haven't lost to him in a long time. But this game, it just started very, very tough for me for our team. Abada's first drive, we were playing great defense. He throws a Hail Mary miracle ball. I said a miracle he threw, and while all the balls in the air, I'm just thinking like, there's no way I'm trying to catch this ball. I was like, let's bat this ball down. Let's go. I'll start a ball from like close to my end zone, right? He throws it, just caught, and it's like the worst case scenario that happened. 6-0. My next ball I throw is dropped, and then they pick it off. Now all of a sudden it's 12-0. Give out by that 12-0 lead. It's gonna be a long day for us. So we started very shaky, and then more drops happened. A lot of drops happened this game. I don't want to mention any names for my teammates. We're gonna step up next week. We're gonna ball out week 2. It was a very unfortunate game with drops. But the good thing I had about my team is that we were down 12-0, and we ended up going down halftime 12-6. We kept fighting. We actually had a lead at 27-25, I believe, and then they ended up scoring last 30 seconds. They scored their touchdown, and we battled back, almost caught a game-winning touchdown, but it was picked off. But happy that we battled week 1. It was a good fight, but it was a tough battle, but we just lost.
I don't know if you watched Dakak, if you stayed and watched that game, but what you think about Hazem's decisions when Albado was playing cover 3, and Hazem, for the most part, seemed like he couldn't penetrate it. Like Hazem, you had 2 options.
Definitely, Albada really did something where he showed usually Albada will not like show what kind of defense he's gonna play, but he kind of week 1 he really decided to just pull everything out of the bag. He really wanted to win this game, and like his defensive scheme was pretty impressive. Like he had 2 rushers, cover 3 type defense. But I think for him, what was really impressive was he had players not only step up to like the roles, but they complete. Like Hassan was huge for him. I know Hassan had some great defense, some great plays. Ahmad catches that Hail Mary tip pass, and I think once that happened, like Hassan's team was a little like shook, caught a little off guard. Like you play like such a hard drive, and you come like a 3rd and long or 4th and long, and you just bat it down, and it just goes into someone's hands. And then Hazem's team also had a lot of drops where you hope that's not a repetition of like future weeks, because you definitely, especially out of your top players, you want your first few rounds, you want them to make sure you catch passes and stuff. So I definitely think Albada's team, he really wanted it. Like it wasn't the same Albada who was like, okay, like I'll lose in the regular season. He really wanted to win week 1.
Well, the thing is with me is like what I realized is that Hazem I think he threw 2 picks, but when Albedo was playing cover 3, I thought you'd at least kind of, use your seams and goes, and especially that you have Isa. Like if you just sent a seam and had Isa slant, or if you sent Isa on a go and someone else on a slant, then it's going to be 2v1 on defense. But I don't know. Then you started running at the end, and I just think you did everything so late that it missed you. But I just think that whenever you're playing anyone with a cover 3, it is probably like it's easier than cover 2 to exploit. So I don't know.
We were definitely attacking cover 3. I mean, the one place where Abada was like running from across the field like safety, like he went to Faisal deep and ran back. Like we were definitely attacking it. But yeah, like I agree, it took a little late for us to get it going, get everything smooth and stuff like that. We took a minute. Down 12-0, we started fighting back later, and then even in the second half, we had some drives that we didn't finish, some drives off as well. Like, but I feel like we were definitely attacking cover 3. I don't think it was great defense by Abad. It was more about us just not making the plays. I don't think it was Abad's defense, to be honest.
Yeah, in the beginning, yeah.
They're rushing me, but they weren't coming in because if you go in against me, you know what happens. I'm gonna break you down and run out with 20 yards. So you don't come in. They sat on the sides like what I thought was gonna happen. They didn't come in at all. I was sitting back there chilling, drinking coffee, drinking tea. I had a lot of time back there. I was throwing the ball, but like I'm just saying, a lot of mistakes are happening out there. But I think we should.
Your team dropped, man. Your team dropped passes, man.
It'll be better.
Let's
just. I don't know why you're coding it.
It was that simple, man. I remember your blocker, Dilbay, man, dropped passes.
Hazem,
my one question to you is: you told us last podcast that you drafted 5 players for rushing. Where were those 5 players? Where was those 5 players that were rushing?
Listen up, man.
That's what I'm wondering.
Week 1, I don't show my cards week 1. I don't show all my cards week 1. I'll bet his team. I have a game up for I'll bet his team I won't use right now. I have a game plan. He has 1 receiver and 2 guys. So I'm not really worried about it.
Dakak, this is what we call post-design rationalism. He's just saying this because now he's in hindsight, and it's post-design. It's after. Anyways, let's get going to the next week. We can talk about standings real quick, but obviously, number 1, we've got Muslimin Fahad with a very comfortable point differential lead. Then we've got Abada, second place with about, I think, 5 points, maybe, +5. And then we've got, obviously, EB +2. And then we got Siraj, we got Hazem, and then we got Alizi at last. So for week 2 predictions, I think this one is probably going to be a good week only because of one game, to be honest with you, which is obviously the mid game at 10 a.m. But before we get to that, let's talk about the first game between Mogadishu and Black Lives Matter. Hazem and EB. Hazem, EB isn't playing, but I'm going to tell you at the same time, you are not lucky that Seth is going to be the QB.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm lucky. I would want to play against EB Lawaru. You know, it's a fun matchup for me. I want him to be out there, but unfortunately he got hurt. So I'm gonna see what happens with that team. I mean, I'm versing Seth Fisher now, and we have a lot of history. Me and Seth, we went a lot of places together. We went to Florida together playing football. We went to Nebraska, I think. No, not Nebraska. We went to many places. I forgot where we went to so many times. But I know how Seth plays. I know what he likes to do. I'm gonna take it away from him what he wants to do.
Not as a quarterback, though.
Huh?
I said you don't know him as a quarterback, though.
Oh, I know him all right. I know what he wants to do. He wants to run around. What I'm gonna do is obvious. I won't say it right now, but we will lock that down. Force some bad passes, get some picks early, get a quick little lead, jump on him, finish him off quick, get it with the dub. So I'm thinking we should win this game comfortably. No EB's there. I'll be watching from the sideline, being a little coach EB this week. I think we'll see what happens with EB. I'm not sure exactly, but I would say win this around. It'll be like 37-18.
Wow. Will you rush or no rush?
Will I rush?
Will you rush Seth or will you not rush Seth?
Come on now.
I'm being serious. You say he loves running around. Maybe you don't want to rush him and you want him to throw.
Will I rush? Come on now. I'm saying 3.
Power to you. I want to see how it works out. Dakak, what do you think? You think that what would you say 38-17? You think that score is actually going to live up?
No, man, no. They're gonna still be waking up, man. I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know how to have Devin on the field at the beginning of the game. I think he's got to make sure, Ubi's not playing any video games Saturday night, gets a good night's sleep. I do think Hazem will pull it out. I don't think Hazem's going to lose 2 weeks in a row. I think it's going to be a closer one, though. I think it's going to be 24-18 Hazem. I think it's going to come down one possession. I think Seth is going to he's going to make some plays, but I think he's also going to throw some costly interceptions. And I think, honestly, Hazem's going to tuck it and run more, and I think he's going to, score a couple rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, I think honestly though, I think Seth is going to come out but I think it's going to be a one possession game. I wouldn't be surprised if you pull it off, Hazem. But I just, if he can cover your 3 rush, if that's what you supposedly will be doing. But if he covers that game plan, then it's game day for Seth. You're talking about -3
Nah,
in the outfield.
Like, how's it going? Like, what's he going to do out there? Throw the ball to who? Yanal? Throw the ball Yanal? Rahima? Who's he have?
Brendan.
Who's he?
Brendan. Well, we got to see who Brendan brings to the game, but Brendan,
Brendan Yanal works away. Like, no one's fearing none of those guys. We don't fear
I think Hazem tucks it and runs more. I think he puts it. Hazem didn't do much running week 1. I think he definitely
when Hazem's vulnerable, that's what he does. He runs. But
you said what?
I said when you're vulnerable, that's what you do. You run.
Okay, like I said, work. I do what I gotta do. So
all right, so we got 2 show, one BLM. We'll see. All right, so second game. This one's what I'm really excited to talk about. I'm glad to spend more time talking about it because it's well deserving. It's been a very long time since we've had Obada versus Fahad. I'm like very, very happy and excited that I'm part of it. I don't want to say like who, I don't want to say prediction of who's going to win or not because obviously it's going to be a biased answer. But I think the like the mental part of the team that we have is probably like one of the best I've been around as far as IQ goes. So I think like this is the test for us on Sunday to really see how smart we are and playing against Albada. Like Albada, obviously he loves the seams, he loves the crosses, and then he makes you choose. Like he just makes you choose between the seam or someone on a go on the sideline. So I just want to see how the corners and the safeties are going to react, and if linebackers are going to cover that seams. Man, this is going to be fun though.
I think definitely. I think Fahad's going to get the win here. Not predicting a big blowout. I think honestly probably 35-20 Fahad. I think 35-20 is a reasonable score. I think Fahad is just has players who don't have an ego, just knows their roles, do their roles. Like it could be from Ali Z's game. I could be just overhyping his team, but I think his team, like he has Dustin, he has Zuzu, he has Mfl. Those are guys that just will do their roles and excel in it. They're not gonna like try to like step over someone else's rules. They're not gonna like do anything. I think also Albada also against Fahad in the regular season doesn't have a high win percentage. I think Fahad gets it done. I think Dustin's gonna have another big day, and I think Zuzu and Mfl are gonna be able to get up with some key defensive stops.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like that Albada doesn't really care about regular season. Obviously, every team. Playoffs is what matters because every team makes it. But I'm thinking about this year when you're in the summer in the turf field and you've got 2 games to play back to back. That's kind of huge, and especially that you've got like if you're 3rd to 6th seed and if you don't have that bye, it's kind of huge this year too. Just because it's summer, everybody's out of town, everybody's in town, in and out. So it's like you kind of don't want to risk it. So this game probably has to be the one that Albada has to try.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think that this game is gonna be a crazy, wild game. Albada versus Fahad is always a fun matchup. I just think that Fahad's team is so well rounded overall. It's just a top to bottom team. I feel like just the names they have, the defense they're gonna play is solid. But I don't know, man. Like Albada, he beat me last week with players that I think should not have won that game, but they found a way to win the game. And I think that Albada will make some plays. And Fahad's team, they smacked up Ali Z really, really bad. But are they really that good is the question. Are they 60-14 good? I don't think so. You know what I mean? I think they're a good team. Probably the best names team out there. But are they the best team? I'm not sure. So I think Albada might sneak a win here. And I think it'll be a wild one for sure. One possession game, back and forth touchdown battle. I'm thinking a little bit low scoring. I think Fahad might have a shaky day. I don't know why I'm feeling that vibes. I think Fahad is shaky day. I'm thinking it's gonna be a 27-21. Albada win.
Why is it low scoring though?
It's just I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird.
Because he lost week 1. He lost.
Weird.
Let me ask you this though: if you had been Abada last week, would you be still saying this? Because it seems like you had a lot of respect for him and his team when you didn't before.
I don't have no respect for that team, to be honest. We played that bad game plan. I blame myself for that loss. That team should not have beaten us with those players, okay? It was a bad game. It was bad by me or the game plan. We should have rushed 2 on Abada. That's on me. We lost that game. But I just think that Abada will do something. I don't know what he's going to do to beat Fahad. But I think Abada he knows he missed a couple of games the rest of the way. He's got to find a way to win this game. He has to. That's all I know.
Is he missing any games throughout the season?
I'm thinking he might miss a couple of games week 3. I don't know about 5. We'll see. So we'll see.
That is huge. I think everybody's going week 3 too. All right, so we've got 1-1. Obviously, I ain't voting on this one, but talk about that third game. Hazem, was there a reason why this was the 11 a.m. game? Was there like a schedule constraint?
Yeah, so this year usually I do schedule stuff and I usually pick the right games. But this year I don't have no rig stuff. So we followed the strict schedule that was by the internet. We did a real schedule this year. So the games are there, the games that was picked by, our website we did, so it's just how it was. Obviously this game should have been 10 a.m. and our better game should have been 11 a.m. But to be honest though, like that 10 a.m. slot I feel like is the best game because of the weather wise. Plus, the people all coming from 9 a.m. game will probably stay and watch the 10 a.m. game. But 11 a.m. game, people were actually kind of leaving, like people who lost 9 a.m. 10 a.m.
10 a.m. definitely in the new prime time, I feel like, slot. That's when you have like the most people.
It kind of always has been, to be honest with you. That middle game always kind of gets.
Yeah, into the order that. Yeah.
All right, so Dino Virginia versus Free Palestine. I think this is we say this a lot, and it kind of like bothers me that we say this a lot, but like this is the time that IDC just needs to win and show up. Even if it's a win against like Siraj's team, any win is a confidence booster, and you just get to figure more things out. But I think IDZ just needs to stop staring down his receivers and kind of just trusting his arm a little bit more rather than kind of like floating it. And kind of if he sees something, just go for it. If you're going to float it, there's a 50-50 chance you're going to get picked. Anyways, you're giving the defense time to get there. If you just sling it, it's less of a chance that, someone might pick it off. But for this game, I think Siraj is going to come up on top, to be honest with you. He's probably going to come up slinging from last game. He's probably pissed. I think he's probably going to have a deep talk with Hamuda, with Isakov. That was crazy. 2 blockers and they still couldn't get 1 rusher. But I think Siraj is going to come up on top of this. I don't think he's going to be more than 1 possession, though.
Yeah, I think this game is going to be interesting for sure. It's definitely a personal battle. I feel like Siraj and IDZ have a cool little history over the years. They've been teammates a lot. But I feel like IDZ feels like he's a better quarterback in my mind. I feel like he thinks he's a better quarterback. I think IDZ is a better quarterback, but I feel like Siraj has the tools to win the game. But Siraj is missing Dakak. He is missing Ahmad Agha. So those are 2 big losses. But I've been told that he's getting a player named Muhammad, Yusuf Agha's brother-in-law / friend / cousin from 3rd. I don't know what he is, but he's playing this week. I've been told that he looks like O / Agha, but it's like how bad when he talks. It's very interesting. I don't know who this guy is, but he'll be replacing somebody this week. He's gonna play this week.
Whose side is he from? What is this?
I don't know. He's related to Hamuda, and Hamuda asked me if he could play this week. And then we asked IDZ, and IDZ did confirm that he can play. Try and meet the guys. I'm not sure who he is, so we will meet him soon.
I see.
Yep. Okay. I think that guy who's watching the screen, Elsra Rahima, he will have a huge day. Also have a huge day for Siraj. I know he's missing Agha, he's missing Dakak, 2 big weapons for sure. But I think Els will not go 0-2. He will make some moves. Siraj will feed that man, feed the beast, feed Els. And it will be a crazy game. I think IDZ should win this game, but I think that he won't. I think Siraj will just pull this one out. It'll be a close one. I'm thinking like a 31-28 type win for Siraj.
Yeah. Gak, we don't got much time, but What do you think? How do you think your team is gonna do?
Think of my team. I like bias. I think honestly, this game is just gonna come down to just mentally. Like, will my team do the same mental mistakes as last week? Like Ali Z's team also mentally wasn't they weren't really a team. Like they had timeouts where not all the people were huddled up. They had halftime where no one was talking to each other at halftime. So I think this game's really going to be who does the least amount of mental mistakes. And I think honestly, internally, at least I know from my side, like from our team, I know we really looked ourselves in the mirror and like we really looked at our mistakes and saw what we did. We're definitely going to try to reduce those mistakes. And I think my team's going to come out. I mean, we have Aus, man. Aus was a baller last week. And I think, honestly, like we lost last week because like we had two blockers that couldn't block one rusher. And I think that we won't have those same mistakes. Like I think our team, like Siraj did a really good job this past week, like making like not like even like trying to like look at the high, like look at like reflect our games. He really tried to just make each person look at their own mistakes and try to like better off from those mistakes and how to reduce them. Yeah. And I think this team is going to benefit. And I think I think it also helps that we lost week 1, so we wouldn't have been too overconfident for this week and like seeing it. Cause I know Ali's going to play better than week 1. Like he's definitely going to better. He's going to, Yusuf Agha is not going to be quiet again. Yusuf Agha is going to.
I think this is going to be one of those like quiet games that just end up to be like one of those big bangers that just are.
I definitely there's going to be firework. I definitely think both teams. I think they're going to be playing close to their best. But I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see who plays better between Aus and Yusuf Agha. Those are the top 2 picks. There's a lot of questions about who should go 1, who should go 2. So definitely those guys are both going to be playing to show why Aus is going to show why he went number 1, and Yusuf Agha is going to try to show why he should have went number 1.
Hazem, who you got?
I guess it always win this one.
What about you, Dakak? You got your team winning? By how much?
While you're not there, Dakak, you will not be there. So what's gonna happen while you're not there?
I think we're gonna get locks on defense, man. I think it's gonna be low scoring. I honestly think 24 to like 13 or 24 to 10. I think we're gonna win by 10. I think it's gonna be really low scoring. I think we're gonna have a good defensive plan for Ali Z, and it's just gonna. I think we're just gonna get a quick lead because we got a quick lead last game. We went up by 10, but I don't think Ali Z's team has that resiliency to like be down by 7 or even 7 or 10 points and try to come back. I think they're just gonna toss in the towel, and that's all you need against that team is just to get that quick lead.
Yep. Well, all right then. I think we all got Siraj winning, but that being said, we've got just a little bit of time to spare. I was gonna say one thing we can talk about, and to kind of make it quick is let's pick. Each one of us can pick who overperformed and who underperformed from last week. If you guys got any names, you guys can start. But if not, I can start right away. I think who overperformed was, I want to say Seth. And Seth Fisher. And I think just because he was thrown into that spotlight, quarterback, and we got to see his hips moving, I feel like at receiver he probably wouldn't have those chances as much. But I think that's what overperformed. Underperformed for me, it's kind of did Sadek really underperform, or was that really what's expected from him? But I think I'll just go with Siraj's team. They underperformed big time. You guys had a chance to beat Seth Fisher, QB2, but y'all didn't, and y'all let the rush come in at the last play when you guys had a chance. I think underperformance is Siraj's team, overperformance is Seth Fisher. What about you, Hazem?
Yeah, for me, overperformed, I wouldn't say Seth because Seth's stats were pretty shaky. I mean, he caught 1 pick, threw 2 picks, ran 1, threw 1. So I mean, it's cool stats. I mean, kind of shaky, but I wouldn't say he overperformed. Seth can do that stuff. Seth can throw the ball, so that's not really anything. I would say overperformed to me. Loki Fahad. No, not Fahad. Not Fahad.
That's expected.
Way too Fahad.
You do
Yeah,
I
would say who overperformed Loki, Mohammed Hassan. Even though to me, Mohammed Hassan, I want to draft him, but Abaya stole him from me. He's a guy that can produce. He can cash those short ones, take it all the way. He doesn't get a lot of respect. I don't know why he don't get a lot of respect, but he can really ball out. Went to Ray Peck High School. He's never being called Ray Peck. But last week he had 2 touchdowns, a pick. To me, last week he carried his team. I know I was more of a decoy guy for last week, but I think Mohammed Hassan would definitely overperform for me. And underperformed, I would say Ali Z to me, underperformed to me because he's a captain this year. He threw 4 picks, 1 rushing touchdown. And I think he's a way better player than that. I think Ali Z is the quarterback. He's one of the best QBs, I think, throwing the ball. And he had Yusuf Allo as one of the best receivers in the league. And that score to me, it's too sad. Like 60-14 should not have happened. That should have been at least like 42-20, like something like manageable score. That should not have gotten out of hand. I feel like that game got out of hand because Ali Z kind of, I want to say gave up, but he kind of like threw in the towel kind of early, and his team did the same thing. So I think that's Ali Z definitely underperformed for me.
Yeah. All right. Dakak, you've got like 3 minutes.
I think my overperformer for the week, I think as shocking as it would be, I think Albeda was definitely my overperformer just because everybody thought his team was like the worst team of the week. He thought like everybody thought 0-6, like thought he wasn't going to do anything. But he comes out, plays a clean game, 5 touchdowns, 0 picks, was there on defense. And like even besides that, he was able to really like I felt like his team, like mentally he got his team ready. Like mentally his team, Jihad played well, everybody played to their roles. And I think he was able to really rally his team. And this was a team that, I mean, we all picked against them. We all thought Hazem was going to pull it out. Yeah. But I think definitely that's a big overperformer. And then my underperformer, there's a few that I think underperformer, but I'll give them another chance. But I think this week's underperformer for me at least was Ihab Johari. Like the guy's an 8th pick overall. I think like he just is going to have to step up because everybody knows on that team, everybody's going to be watching Yusuf Ega. Ihab was picked 2nd overall. Like he's there on defense, but I think he's really going to have to step up on offense. He's going to have to just try to do things on offense because like he's 8th overall pick. Like you need to do something, especially when everybody knows Yusuf Ega. So I definitely think he underperformed this week. And maybe it was just the early time, but we're going to need to have Ihab. You're my boy. I'm going to need you to do something for me week 2, man.
And one more thing about Ali Z, he threw 4 picks, but that could have been like 7 to be honest. I know Shadman missed a pick. Yeah. He missed like 2 that game. Zuzu, I don't know what was up with your picks. I guess the ball was too hard.
Ali Z might have to change the football, man. Receivers aren't catching that rock, man.
That finger still hurts.
That could have been like 7 picks that game. Just FYI, that could have been like 7.
All right, well, I hope everyone enjoyed this. We stayed up late to get this done because we enjoy it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it then. Thank you for the Dakak. Dakak is out of town, so he took some time out and hung out with us. And then also, Hazem works those weird shifts at his job, but he's up here now. He's talking to us, so appreciate the video. I appreciate the highlights. Let's kind of keep this rolling, and I'll see you guys next week.
Salam.